ब्रिजेश सर स्टार्ट कर दिए?
यस
सुनील सर स्टार्ट कर दो।
यस सर। Welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us today for the webinar. My name is Sunil Wala and I am the lecturer in Mechanical Engineering Department of Diploma Studies, Parul University. It is a leading university in provider and the provider of the innovative graduates. Today we are presenting a webinar titled as Minimizing the Gap Between Academic and the Industry, presented by our guest Mr. Pranav Choksi sir.
Hello.
If you have any questions, during the presentation, please type them to my number 97148578556. I will bring them up during the presentation, and we will also have a time for questions at the end. So now I request I request Mr. Pranav sir without wasting a time, and he is our presenter today. He is field service engineer, field service consulting engineer at BT Engineering and Consulting Services, with great knowledge and expertise on this subject. Please, sir.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Wala. Thank you, Gaurav sir. And yes, hello everybody. Hope I am audible.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Yes. So we are going to spend 1 hour nearly, and I will not say the spend, but we are going to invest in our day-to-day life. So topic is given that minimizing gap between academic and industry. Very interesting things. We'll also merge some technical stuff that maybe you have not gone through. So we'll combine those two things, what the topic and some technical stuff. So this presentation is dedicatedly prepared for Parul University for Mechanical Engineering, as they given me the chance to say something on this topic. So I'm representing BT Engineering and Consulting Services, and I'm just like a freelance, little bit working like a freelance. Again, welcome to presentation. Here I would like to share some my background little bit. Presently, I am working as a consulting engineer for turbo expander packages. These packages are manufactured at the Atlas Copco Murphy Trench company in USA. While doing this work, I visited around 15 countries and territories and have a interesting experience all over the world while doing this work. Presently, I introduce myself to cater such type of the service like field supervision and inspection of the activities, site activities, rotating machine alignment, rotor balancing, vibration data collection and analysis, component manufacturing, material testing. I have a exposure of these things, and I'm coordinating such requirements to the industry right now. I'm also get certified with this activity called is a career mentor. I affiliated with the DEA Career Mentor Private Limited. This institute is located in Pune, and they certified me. So I'm also doing this activity. So come to the topic. Today's topic, I begin with the theme of presentation: academic and industry relations. It is a more or less, I can say, it's a journey from academic to industry, and we are the traveler. These two destinations are the production and users. So I am telling also a traveler, and you are also a traveler. So this is very much affected to a traveler. I feel that So students and the employee, they are the traveler of their journey. So I use one word, one Hindi word, suhana safar. So sometimes this suhana safar, traveler need to travel during journey from the academic to industry. So let us understand this gap. What is the topic says, the gap. So I focus on that word. So to understand the gap between the academic and industry, I say gap is we identify the gap and what is the gap and how it can be minimized. So for my understanding is on gap is that lack of understanding between academic institute and the industry. That is industrial demand and supply from academic. It's I convert it in a very simple way of understanding demand and supply. It's really a demand and supply. If industry demands something from the institute, so both need to be understand their existing situation. That means what the industry is requiring from the institute, and industry need to understand what the academic have a syllabus, the content of topics, what they are having in their control. They have to pass through the syllabus given by the government or the institute. Here I like to give one example. When couple got married, the main traveler is from one home to second home is the lady. Lady is traveling from her own home to another home. So she has to cope up with the changes what she will going to find in a new house, like new practices of for eating or taking the some situation, how to handle the different family members. So it's like that. I just compare this thing with this situation. So we are like this. We are going to industry as a fresh candidate, and so we are changing our place from academic institute to the industry. So how gap between academic and industry can be minimized? This is my thoughts. I'm saying very practical way, very practical aspect. So we have to find a ways to get more and more understanding of necessity of a various industrial and industrial requirement. Industry has that industrial requirement, that is another other part of a requirement from the industry. So we need to understand the requirement of the industry. At the same time, industry also need to understand what content covered during academic period, so they can match and redesign their criteria. So their expectation level should be maintained according to the academic syllabus. So here also I go further for this my example. Mother insisting her daughter she must learn to make roti, dal or sabji before she get married. So that means basic requirement one should cope up, means learn or be confident before doing some major change. That means academic to industry. So that already college suggested to the students what need to be done and what the syllabus and practical aspect also. So they are doing their way. So here traveler has to learn. Here mother is a college and the lady, she is going to marry. The traveler going to change the home from her home to the husband home. So she need to learn some basic things. That's the example. Again, in general, when demand and supply matches, benefit to both academic and industry and in total system. So ultimately, we need to understand what the demand at both the sides. There are certain activities, programs, or event happening between academic and industry it's going on. But the only thing is that might be it's required more frequently and more innovative way by project-based learning or some intensive. I don't know. They are the best judge. So whatever programs are going on, we need to enhance that frequency. It is a continuous process. It's not a one type of the criteria. It's a continuous. It can be changed as per the demand and supply. Here I'm talking demand and supply. That means demand from the industry and supply from the academic. Again, I continue with my thoughts. This can improve level of understanding related to demand of industry and supply from academic. Already, Parul University is working on it. Today's webinar is one of the way to connect with the industry, right? When successfully completes the total cycle of demand and supply, this is the question: how we can confirm that what demand and supply is satisfied. I have one thought. Might be when the academic institute gets satisfactory feedback from the industry about their placements. Very important. When the institute get the feedback from the industry that your supply is good for us, that's enough. That means the whole system is good. Here, I want to point out one more that we are moving ahead, that what we can do. Here, my important thought is, here I mentioned that it is equally important that what we can improve as a candidate, being a traveler from A to I, academic to industry. So onwards, I mainly focus on those areas where travelers need to take care. Hope you understand my point. So to give this understanding, before I start with my presentation further, I would like to have one refresher point. Normally, I use many times throughout my career, so I am just passing to you the way I use these things to maintain motivation or something like that. So I'm going to set one song for a minute, having a good words.
रास्ता है जिंदगी जो थम गए तो कुछ नहीं, एक रास्ता है जिंदगी जो थम गए तो कुछ नहीं, ये कदम किसी मुकाम पे जो जम गए तो कुछ नहीं, एक रास्ता है जिंदगी जो थम गए तो कुछ नहीं.
Can I have feedback? The song was audible?
Yes, sir. It is audible.
Thank you.
Now
Thank
it is
you.
stopped.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So I likely to use this sometimes this type of the songs whenever I got the free time. Or so let's go with the presentation. I start with my Suhana Safar. I am not using other words because I'm giving some message from my this academic journey and then this professional life, right? So I will going to cover this first point. Second point is about some special one special machine that I dealing with that machine of so many years. and amazing one of the bearing. Point number 3, magnetic bearing. Fourth point is what the preparation required to have a Suhana suffer. Normally we are preparing so much stuff when we are planning to have some visit outside in vacation. So this is the life journey. So we need to make it a Suhana safar. It's a beautiful journey. So we need to have a preparation, right? So fifth point is we need to know about our strength and abilities for that journey. And what is the expectation that I understand? Normally we should know that industry normally looking for this type of the stuff. So we need to, when we are knowing the requirements, so we need to have some preparation on that to fulfill that requirement at the industry level, right? So first point, I'm begin with my little bit journey. We'll quickly go through it, and I will give some key points from my journey. So yes, I feel it's a beautiful journey of life, very interesting. Sometimes we call as a career, experience, life journey, but here I'm using Suhana Safar. Yes, when I look back on my Suhana Safar from 1989 to 2020, I can see many things that I like to share with you, which might be useful to your suffer. You can make it Suhana. We hear sometimes this sentence, success is not a destination, it's a journey. Again, it's suffer, it's journey. So let's see, on my Suhana safar, I passed Diploma Mechanical Engineering 1989 with 73% from MSU. Here it is interesting. Before 1989, in the 10th class, I got 75%. But in my early schooling time, I was a 60% candidate. So what happened from 60 to 75? That I want to tell you people. When we are living, there were some gentlemen every day going to their office, come back regularly. I look them at that time. They are very decent, normal, and I like their lifestyle a little bit. And I come to know that those two gentlemen working in a IPCL company, Indian Petrochemical Corporation. So in my mind, it get realized that I should be like this, because I can see these two gentlemen as a good living and good human being. So it was my limitation that I can see only that level. I cannot see the Dhirubhai Ambani, right? So it is different thing, but I can see whoever I got surrounded to me. So thing is that I come to know that if I want to go to the IPCL, then I have to go to the simple route, that is the diploma, and diploma to try to appear on the examination to the IPCL recruitment procedure. So for the diploma, I come to know that I need 70% at least to get qualified, get the admission. That's the reason the jump from the average student to the 75%. Here, I like to point out that make your destination little bit, and your mind will let you go over there. So you have a tremendous potential. I am 60% student, but when I have a fix that I need to go to IPCL, for that I need to go to DME, then at that time during the DME, I recognize that if I want to grow more, then I need to do the Bachelor of Engineering. That was my dream at the time of when I was doing Diploma Mechanical. So here the little bit journey. When I passed the Diploma Mechanical, I first get the job at Sayagi Iron Company in 1989. They were manufacturing the mining equipment, and I entered as a mechanical engineer in a quality control department. Very good experience over there. All the instruments I come to know how to use measuring instrument. I moved to the different departments of the company, like a store, incoming materials, then machining department, fabrication department, assembly and testing. within 2 years, I got move around all the department. I have a good control over the quality control activity. So that in 1991, I get the opportunity to go into my dream company, IPCL. I come to know that there is a written test, so I appear on that written test, and my recruitment activity likely to be started. But here I would like to say one sentence from my head of the quality control department at Sayaji Iron. He told me that if it is not the IPCL you are going to join, then I will not leave you. Means you are best for us. They have not received the expectation level from any other earlier training or earlier engineer. So they give me a reward for that. They give me a 1,200 rupees per month, which was the highest salary ever been given to the any 1 year junior engineer at that time. So what I mean to say, the work matters. Now I got the chance in IPCL. So here the journey begins in the IPCL, and it's an amazing experience in the IPCL, really. So here I also involved in a different departments like maintenance, then engineering service department, contracting department, and I did my part-time degree course over during this period. During this experience, I like to share one point. I found one good colleague, and I focus him as my mentor, because he was senior and he is doing well in to perform the work. So we had a good understanding, and I believe I follow his recommendation throughout this journey in the IPCL. So I changed the department according to his guidance, and I learned a lot of things during this period. I will share a little bit later on. Then I moved as per my mentor recommend that now you spend 15 years over there. If you get a good chance, so you should move. At that time, he had one information that Atlas Copco India company is looking for one good field service engineer, and later on I come to know that the recruiter is my ex trainer in IPCL. He was doing training in IPCL. He used to give the mechanical related training in IPCL. So I was a trainee at that time. So I know a little bit about that recruitment person at Atlas Copco. So I joined this company. I left the IPCL, and during this period of Atlas Copco India, I stay over there around 4 to 5 years, and they give me the training in USA about this turbo expander machine. Before joining this company, I don't know anything about turbo expander. So they get the feedback of my work in IPCL. So they know that how he is in nature, how is work ethics. So they just see that and they train me, and I have a good experience over there. Due to some family reason, I decided not to do the traveling job. I should be at home. So I got the opportunity to work in the Siemens, and I did 2 years over there as a senior executive in a core engineering department. They were doing the real designing work of a steam turbine. So I got a good experience over there, learn many things like a retrofit of a machine, old machine with a new machine, how it can be materialized. So that was my portfolio. Again, the situation become normalized. Then I think that I should go back to my original experience, original expertise. Again, I contacted Atlas Copco, that turbo expander manufacturer, and they were agreed that okay, we are ready to use your experience. And I again rejoined the turbo expander related field service work, and affiliated to the manufacturer USA. So this journey from 1989 to 2020, this the major experience in IPCL, tremendous experience, and this turbo expander experience. So from this journey, I want to share some key points. Hope you may get useful to your Suhana Safar. So I believe that we should little bit ready to learn new things, new skills whenever it's required opportunity. For example, in IPCL, they ask me to do this. The other my colleagues will little bit get afraid or not ready to do that. Then, and I was expecting those things, the new machines. What? So, anytime you have a chance, be ready. This is the most important point. Second one, change your surrounding every 5 to 6 years. That is the people, nature of work, etc. So when you stay 5 to 6 years, your mind and you learn whatever requirement at particular department or a company. So you know the people, whatever the strength and the good things from the people, from the work you have. I think you can have enough experience. So if you want to grow further more in a other area, you may need to have a change work location or the company or the department, whatever it is. Learn to work in a team and develop leadership quality. Means both things are required: leadership quality and the team player. Knowledge make difference when you have a knowledge of different type of the works, different skill. It make difference. Your work and attitude is being noticed. We cannot understand who is looking to you, management or your superior, but work and attitude is always noticed. Carefully find your mentor in your profession. Whatever you are going to select your profession, just see the positive and properly the person is doing his work and he's recognized by the superior and it's a good human being. Then you can identify at your judgment level. But mentor should be there in your profession. You should have a role model for your personal life. In total life, you should have a role model that I want to become like this. So role model and mentor having a very impact on my life. That's why I believe we should have our role model and the mentor. There is an importance of the English language. So little bit have a command on that language. I was not good at that time when I was in IPCL, and then I start traveling. So I get difficulties to still now I am facing the difficulties when I am listening to those English people in the USA or like in other part of the world. So again, keep evaluating every year about your personal growth. Do counseling with your mentor. If possible, keep doing courses and education or on specific skill. Means keep doing something. Keep enhancing your skills and your knowledge. For example, I accept some challenges in IPCL. I was the first mechanical technician who was allowed to use SAP module in Reliance Vadodara. When Reliance take over the IPCL, so I was the first person at my level who authorized for SAP module. SAP is a company system module. SAP, you may aware of this word. Secondly, I was the only person who was selected for Six Sigma training batch of 20 employees in IPCL RIL. So Six Sigma is a big concept. Company has to pay a lot of money to give the participants of the employee. Thing is that many higher level positions and many engineers, many managers were there, but from my level, I was the only person who got selected because I heard about that and I requested. I put my candidature to the management. I am competent for this category of the course, and they accepted my willingness and they selected me. So I am the only one person that from my level of cadre of in the company hierarchy. I'm moving to next topic. That was my Suhana Safar and some important points. Here is I'm going to introduce one unique machine that I worked on. Really amazing machine. It's a beautiful machine. But unfortunately, we don't know about this machine when our academic or in a routine life of our. So now, if I told you name of one machine, that is pump, you can have a picture in your mind how it looks physically. Also, you know where to use it and how it works. So about the pump, you have all idea in your mind. Yeah, simple pump looks like this, right? So similarly, you aware about many machines like a compressor, turbine, agitators, screw conveyors, extruders, and some different type of machine used in the minings too. Now we are going to have an introduction of a unique rotating machine called as a turbo expander. Might be you have not heard this word of the word like a turbo expander. It's like a machine. Can you imagine how it looks like physically? Might not. I don't think you can imagine this machine, right? So let's see how it looks like. Yeah, it's this machine is in the process of manufacturing. Mostly it's end up with its manufacturing stage. It looks like this, typical turbo expander. Yes, here is its internal cross section. This turbo expander is mentioned here that hydrocarbon gas processing unit. So you can see in the center there is a shaft, and at the both ends there are two impellers, right? So these two impellers, left hand side impeller is used for the expansion of the gas. Right hand side of the wheel is used for the compression of the gas. Is it so amazing? Right? One shaft, two action, expansion, compression. Can you find any motor to drive this? No, there is no prime mover. But this machine is running like anything, like up to 50,000 RPM, 20,000 RPM. It depends on the process gas requirement. So it's a high-speed machine without motor, without prime mover. Here, the picture shows that turbo expander in action. So you can see some icing formation on the machine in the industry. Some of the turbo expander use this magnetic bearing that I'm going to cover little bit later on. So this is like a package, a machine package with the magnetic bearing. It's a total machine package. It's ready for shipment to the industry from the factory. So we are going to little bit talk about what is turbo expander, how it works, what are the systems used in the turbo expander, where it is used like this. So schematic shows that left hand side is expander wheel, compress, right hand side compressor wheel, gas in, gas out. So gas is going to expand and expander. Other side, gas going to compress. So in fact, it's a two machine in one package, right? So it's a left hand side is the expander. So from the top, gas is coming, and it's worked like a turbine. It just rotates the shaft when high pressure gas is entered from the expander side and leaving the radially. So it's acting like a turbine phenomena. So it's give the torque to the wheel and it spins. High pressures gas will introduce to the machine and it give the rotation to the shaft. Other side, there is a compressor. So the rotation of the shaft from the expander side will help the gas to compress at the right hand side. So in a terminology, a turbo expander is a high-speed rotating machine without any prime mover to rotate. Expansion and compression of the gas on a common shaft, which is used in a gas processing industry. A turbo expander is a machine which is designed to produce refrigeration and recover energy. Very interesting. Here I like to give one exercise to you, the listener. You can go through these thermodynamics of this machine, how it relate in a thermodynamic way. Later on, you can have an exercise on that. So this machine produces the refrigeration. What is refrigeration? Cool the gas stream, produce liquids. So in a gas processing industry, there are some impurities in a gas which can be extracted at particular temperature and pressure. So expander helps to develop those temperatures. So from the industry process, they can remove some impurities and make a natural gas or LNG. So here the phenomena used is the reduction in pressure due to the expansion of the gas result in a temperature drop. This is a very common thing. When you reduce the pressure, it reduces the temperature of the gas, and that means the heat energy is released. So the released energy within the gas is used to recover by using the compressor. Much of the energy recovered from the expanded gas in a turbo expander is converted in a mechanical energy. So the high pressure gas energy is entered in the expander, give the rotation to the shaft. This energy is utilized at other end of the shaft by the increase the pressure of the gas in a compressor system. So refrigeration is cold, absence of heat energy. So we get the horsepower, recover the energy. You can see the picture, expander is connected to the gearbox. So here the expander is connected to gearbox and a gearbox connected to other unit. So here they show that the gearbox is connected to generator, so we can produce the electricity too. So where it is used? So here their application of the expander used in a NGL, LNG, ethane recovery, dew point control. Dew point control means when we have to travel, when the gas required to move from one destination to other destination in a long distance, then the dew point control is important. So dew point control is to maintain such a temperature that gas cannot be liquefied. It's remain in their original state. In a petrochemical industry, to produce the ethane, extract the impurities, hydrogen recoveries, and to produce the electricity. So machine consists of some systems to operate safely. There is a seal gas system. Normally, seal gas system is used to seal, to create the protection of a gas not to migrate towards the bearing side. So in the bearing housing, there is a oil. So oil should not go to the process side and process gas should not go to the oil side. To protect this thing, we normally use the seal gas. The second system is the blue ball system. Blue ball system is used to lubricate the bearings and to remove the heat generated while it is rotation. So here is very interesting system called is an automatic thrust equalizer. It is very interesting because this machine have a pressures of the gas at expander side and the compressor side. Those pressures are in a different values. One side like a 20 bar, other side a 10 bar. So the difference is act on the machine. So machine can actually shifted from the center. So rotor required to be in center when it is in rotation. So this activity to control the rotor in a center is done by this automatic thrust equalizer. Very important is instrumentation and control. Very, very important. Any critical machine, if it is not monitored properly, then it can be damaged anytime. So in this machine, there is a measurement of a pressure, temperature, speed, vibration, and those data is measured from field to sent to the one control panel having some programming logic, PLC. HMI means human face interface. So operator can operate from this panel and to monitor the data. And machine is protected by annunciation of some alarming situation when the vibration or temperature pressure went to the beyond limit. There are some alarming limits and bad limits. So when it's a alarming limit, so it's a alarm annunciation system is there. So operator can understand and he can control. So this was all about the unique machine, right? So we will move further. Now we are a little bit going to see how the magnetic bearing is working. Do you know, you heard about this magnetic bearing? Might be it's a very unknown thing in a industry nowadays. We don't know that what is the active magnetic bearing, how it works, where it is used. We go through quickly. Active magnetic bearing is a device supporting the rotor of a machine without mechanical contact. This is very strange statement, without mechanical contact. Normally, rotating machine is rest on our journal bearing or a ball bearing. So there is a physical contact, and thin film of the lubricant will make a distance between the roller and the shaft, right? Here, this magnetic bearing, there is no physical contact. So what is the advantage? Why people are looking for a magnetic bearing? So there is no use of oil, there is low friction, smaller size, low in weight, reduce the maintenance. So if the maintenance is less, then people are looking for that things. So industry don't want to carry out maintenance and failure or breakdown or production loss, right? So how it looks like? So these are the two cartridges. There are two bearings in a set used on a specialized housing. So this cartridge consists of some magnets. They are connected with some currents supply. So they develop some magnetic field. We'll see later on. So machine rotor is supporting during rotation by using magnetic attraction and active control system with sensors, amplifiers, and power supply, right? So with the use of the power supply, magnets get activated and create some attraction force with the control of the current, and that attraction force is control the shaft location. Where it is used, magnetic bearings are increasingly used in industrial machines such as compressor, turbines, pumps, motors, and generators. Every machine now is converted to with the magnetic bearings. So its general layout of a magnetic bearing. In the center there is a rotor surrounded by the electromagnets having some 0.5 mm clearance. It's called as an air gap. So whenever the shaft position changes, the sensor will detect that change of the position, and it regulate the current, and current will take care the attraction of the magnet, attraction force of from the magnet, and it will pull or push the rotor to remain in the center. So there are sensors to control the rotor: position sensor, speed sensor, and temperature sensors. Above sensors detect the situation, sent to the control panel. Accordingly, there is a controller will change the control quantity, and it acts in a magnet. So how this is line diagram, how it works. So in the center, yellow color center is the rotor surrounded by the coils. There is a sensor sending the signal to the controller, PID network, signal processing happening, and amplifiers will regulate the current, and electromagnet change their forces. So rotor is controlled in a 5 direction, means axial direction and radial direction, right? So 5 axis control to remain the rotor in a center. This was all about the unique application of magnetic bearing. We'll try to see some animation. I'm trying to show you this animation. You can have a better understanding. Wait for a moment. Hope everybody have this presentation, this screen.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, thank you. So I'm just using this radial front and this thing, and you can see the how it acts. You can have some idea about the magnetic bearing. So this is the one axis called a V1, V3. There is one radial axis. So whenever the rotor position change, it acts to control on that axis. Then the next one. So you can see in the center the rotor movement is there initially. Then this axis there are magnet giving the attraction force. So it pull or push whenever it's required. This is all happening through the control panel. There is an amplifier. There are some system to regulate the current. And this is the actual movement. Due to the process condition, when the gas processing are happening through the expansion and compression, there is always some disturbance in the pressure. So it gives some forces in axial direction to disturb the center position of the rotor. So this current will act to control the rotor in a center, right? So this is one of the animation. Sorry. Here we can see how the effect of unbalance and is controlled by the magnet. So it start rotating now. I can increase the speed. You can see one dot is moving around, and I create the unbalance now. So it's alarming. So if the current got increased, so a dampening effect will create to control the rotor. For example, if I put in an alarm level, and if so dampening means the current get on action and the attraction force control this rotor unbalance. So how this control loop is working? You can see the downward load created. Then with the action, the top magnet pulled the rotor on a center. See one more time. So here you can see some movement of the rotor and the attraction force, how the magnet will energize, control the movement of the rotor. So this is how little bit I try to give the idea of how the magnetic bearing works little bit. So before moving to next topic, I like to go through one more song. So let us have one more song that I like to hear at this moment.
नदिया चले चले रे धारा, ओ नदिया चले चले रे धारा, चंदा चले चले रे तारा, तुझको चलना होगा, तुझको चलना होगा, तुझको चलना होगा, तुझको चलना होगा।
Yes, we have to move on. Yes, come back to our important topic, Suhana Safar, what we need to pack our stuff when we are on the move to the journey from academic to industry. So here, move from academic to industry, that means whatever you decide to get a job or do the business, but something need to be common. It is common package, means whatever stuff whatever stuff wherever you go, means in the traveling, something is common thing when you go by flight or by train or by car, but some stuff remains common, right? So what you need for your Suhana Safar to world of work, very few things I will cover little bit. So this sentence is very important. Education doesn't define your career. Education is the route to build a career, not the career itself. So education must be required, but it's your route. It's not your career. So better to understand what individual to have to become in a life. So find the career, be sincere on that part. So this is important. What I am good at, what we should know. Individual has to know what I am good. What I am good. Prepare for success. Make a right entries. Make a right entries means whenever you got first chance to do the job or business, make sure how you are prepared for that, right? And you like or not, that is another thing. Your strength, your likings are with that entry or not. So this slide is very important, because first people are, or normally people are making this mistake to understand how we can utilize our strength or abilities and we get happiness in our life. So first, I believe that we should understand what we have some dream goals, or some dream should be not a car or a big bungalow. That is the different part. It is also required, but your emotional dream, what it is touch with your heart, that I'm talking about your dream. So your dream, then what you have a strength, you have achieved your personality, you understand yourself very well, what some good qualities is within you that other people don't have. So just think on what's your strength, then plan a career with some backup plan, and do not step back on your dream. Keep your dream alive every time. It will give you your energy. So let us understand what is career and life stages. So throughout the life, what are the stages individual has to pass through those stages? Here we can say we spend average 18 years of our life to get the graduation and have some degree or certification courses. Next 40 years, we spend 18 years to stay happy, healthy, wealthy. Next 40 years. So we have to identify our journey, our route, our career path, so we can have a better life during next 40 years. So normally schooling happen, higher education, then we are looking for early career opportunities, then we settle down in a life. Again, if we are not having a proper selection of our career, then we have to look at 40s that we have to change something like that. It's happening to many people. So better to make sure our strength and abilities and select our first career choice. It says this is all about choose a realistic career, means सब लोग कहाँ जा रहे हैं तो मैं भी उधर जाऊं, ऐसी बात नहीं करना है. This is the wrong thing. So first understand yourself, your needs, your dreams, and then check the opportunities. But mind well, you should discover your destination with some backup information. Also believe you can do everything in future. You have a definite, infinite, means you have a tremendous potential which is given to everybody from the God, right? So be confident, plan it. Planning is required. We plan everything, but we forgot to plan our career. So there are many seniors in colleges and outside people are helping us to guide in a futuristic, what are the futuristic career on the basis of our present situation. So here one quote from the Bill Gates. Bill Gates says that my success, part of it certainly is that I have focused on a few things, not all. So he focused on one thing. Swami Vivekananda says, let the brain, muscles, nerves, every part of the body knows what you want to do, means what is your dream, and keep that idea and thought remain as it is and work on it. So we are moving to next part, know your own potential, skill, abilities, and interests. Before that, quickly go through one song.
टुकड़ों में बिखरा अंधेरा, चमका सितारा जो तेरा, अंबर पे आ दस्तखत कर दे। तू अब तलक था अधूरा, होने ही वाला है पूरा, हद से गुजर जा तू हद कर दे। है चाहत तो है रास्ता, ये जान ले जरा, मुमकिन नहीं है क्या अगर तू ठान ले जरा।
Yes, everything is possible, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, go ahead with this point. We need to know what we have. Sometimes we don't aware of it, what we have abilities and what we can perform. For me, I never thought in my life before that I can travel around the world. So let us see this person, very interesting. Everybody knows who is this gentleman. Yes, Manmohan Singh, PhD in economics. But here I would like to ask a question. He worked as a prime minister and finance minister. But when we ask a question to the people that which role he performed well as a prime minister or as a finance minister, so normally people say the finance minister as a finance minister he did well, and so There is a reason behind that, because maybe Mr. Manmohan Singh have more interest and a natural ability to perform in a finance matter and in economic things. So this how relate with our career also. I have one more example to understand this carefully. We have in an industry, production, manufacturing, we are having a various processes in our engineering. There is a planning and control, design, data analysis, and sales and marketing. So here I have a question. One person can successfully perform this all the stuff like production, planning, design. For me, it's no. One cannot perform successfully every application of engineering. It is true. So the last sentence is very important. Reason is that every person have internal qualities that differ person to person. That makes the difference to perform effectively. So, for example, the person is good, very, very good at design. So he has some inherent abilities or attitude or nature that he can stay at one place with in front of computer and he can work for a long hours. But some person have their natural tendency, they cannot sit at one place for a longer time, and they have very friendly to talk with the people, so they can work in a sales marketing. So we cannot interchange those two personalities in both the department. So salesman cannot design properly and designer cannot do the sales. This is that every individual have some special characteristics. That makes a very big difference in the happiness of in the world of the work. So better to know our strength, abilities, area of interest, very important. So there are certain points that we need to understand what we are having, our mental abilities to work with the numbers or words or pictures or imagination power, our motivation means our dreams, goals, our past accomplishment from school to up till now, our learning style, our habits. But we need to work anyway. We have to work in the industry. We have to work in our profession and make our life better. So here, one good sentence about this, about the potential. We can say what we call professional skills may vary depending on a person's ability to handle numbers, words, objects, people, situation, and emotions. So to handle this stuff is our potential in day-to-day life also. We have to handle sometimes with the number games, with the words, with the objects, with the different types of people, situations, and emotional our emotions to react or to like a patience, everything. So there are the variable in each and every person. Its effect in the performance of the in the work in a profession. So those are numerical abilities, abstract reasoning, visualization, memory recall, or you can say observation. So these are the some factors which influence typical type of the works. Although some people are more enthusiastic, tough-minded, assertiveness, relationship builder, self-confidence, self-assurance, relaxed. So these are some characteristics of in a personality of these are the variables. It's not the same in all the person. So we should know our own personality, our little bit information, our what we are belongs to. So here the characteristics of our character is defined in the thoughts, our feelings, our behavior, our day-to-day life routine, work with the particular type of the people, like this here I mean to say your personal, physical, and emotional abilities coupled with your personality, means personal, physical, and emotional. These three combination build the personality. And this is about the interest. This is very important part of while you are selecting the career or job or business. What is your interest level, but for a particular type of the work. So here they mentioned that your likes and dislike, taste, preference, certain elements, activities, people. These things are different choices of a different people. So what you are looking for, what you like, identify those things. So this slide shows various options to find out various types of the profession throughout the world. These are the some like LinkedIn, or you can find from Google, Wikipedia. These are the areas you can search and know how the professional people are working, which type of the company, which industry, how how they are qualified for a particular role. You can relate yourself with those people, those already are performing in the industry. So this is a research plan for you. Yes, this is the last topic. What industry or world of work expect from you? This topic is purely I cover with my personal experience for 30 years of experience in the industry, and I recognize these simple things. If we understand, so we can easily adopt and recognize in the our profession, whatever in a business or a job. Before that, let's have a quick song.
जिंदगी की यही रीत है, हार के बाद ही जीत है। जिंदगी की यही रीत है, हार के बाद ही जीत है। थोड़े आंसू है, थोड़ी हंसी, आज गम है तो कल है खुशी। जिंदगी की यही रीत है, हार के बाद ही जीत है। थोड़े आंसू है, थोड़ी हंसी, आज गम है तो कल है खुशी। जिंदगी की यही रीत है।
Yes, it's like a sine wave form. So life is not a straight line. Yes, last point, very interesting. This is all in all from my experience. So let us understand some area of expectation in a profession, in an industry, whatever. By knowing that the role to perform, any type of the role, any type of the work to perform, the basic demand, we need to have a proper education, qualification, certification to perform those things, ability, knowledge, behavior, following the rules and regulations, and performance expectation. So these are the critical aspects. It's a common sense, nothing big deal. But wherever I go, this matters. When I did my part-time B, then I realized that that was the major criteria for the Atlas Copco India to hire me. As a person, I was okay with means my knowledge, my sincerity, and as a maintenance practices, every part was okay. But Atlas Copco want to recruit not the diploma B at that time. So education, then certification. I go to USA and get certified over there as a turbo expander expert. So they also check my abilities to perform the work in a field. So behavior matters. Behavior is a observation from the our superiors or management or our business partner, you can say. So these are the common factors, right? Regulations, if you violate the any regulations, somebody don't like it. And expectation, we perform our the others expectation considering other requirements. So these are the other demands in general. Earlier was the specific, this is in general. It's again a common sense, nothing rocket science, nothing big thing on this. Industry wants some verbal and written skill of communication, that email or whatever, writing the stuff to communicate to, like a customer, to internal department, to management, having some proper uh, verbal and written communication skill, a basic computer knowledge, command on English knowledge, English language, body language, dress code. Yes, this matters. Body language and dress codes, how you behave at the industry level, because academic is different and industry is different. So there are some not a big way, but it make difference when you are in academic and when you are in industry. So dress code. Safety consciousness, very important nowadays. You can see very hazardous situations and wherein we found unsafe activities, unsafe situation happening in the industry nowadays. So safety consciousness is very important. Leadership, team player attitude, punctuality, multitask. So whenever you are appointed for one task, but the company have some situation, so they can offer you some to do some other work. So your willingness to do that. Might be they are ready to train you, so you should be ready to learn and taken up the things. So finally, it is always there. Please remember, you are a mine of strength. You hold unlimited potential. It is time you explore your strength and put them in use. You deserve a great career and extraordinary life. So please remember, you have a plenty of strength to perform in the field. So here, feel free to contact me. This is my some area of uh, uh, work, self-assessment. I am doing strength analysis, career planning. I'm associate with the DIA Career Mentor Private Limited. I'm associate with the Technology India Private Limited for the intensive placement and global placement. Any industrial services like material testing or manufacturing or maintenance. So all kind of services, my contact. I have one final recommendation from my bottom of my heart. Don't waste time in unproductive activities. I recommend learn one more language along with the English. I prefer French or Japanese language. Improve basic computer knowledge, ready to listen and learn. These 4 criteria is very important in upcoming years. So before moving to next slide, my final songs to you.
आज कॉलेज का आखिरी दिन है और आने वाली जिंदगी के लिए सभी ने कुछ न कुछ सोच रखा है, लेकिन मैंने अपने लिए कुछ नहीं सोचा है। नो रियली, आई मीन इट। और आज मुझे बार बार एक ही ख्याल आ रहा है। पापा कहते हैं बड़ा नाम करेगा, बेटा हमारा ऐसा काम करेगा, मगर ये तो कोई न जाने ये मेरी मंजिल है कहाँ। पापा कहते हैं बड़ा नाम करेगा, बेटा हमारा ऐसा काम करेगा, मगर ये तो कोई न जाने ये मेरी मंजिल है कहाँ। पापा कहते हैं बड़ा नाम करेगा। सब यार अपने सबके दिलों में अरमाए हैं, बैठे हैं मिलके सब यार अपने सबके दिलों में अरमाए हैं। वो जिंदगी में कल क्या बनेगा हर एक नजर का सपना ये है, कोई इंजीनियर का काम करेगा, बिजनेस में कोई अपना नाम करेगा।
Yes, so we all have our own destination. We should have our own journey to fix it. By all means, any work, any location, whatever you do, always first safety. Wherever you go, whatever you do, safety is the first criteria. Mind on it, think on it, act safely. Thank you so much, friends, for actively listening me. Special thanks to Paro University Mechanical Engineering team for giving me an opportunity to represent my thoughts. Thank you all. Thank you. All the best.
Thank you so much, sir, for joining us.
Thank you.
It is our pleasure that sir has joined us and share his valuable knowledge and valuable time, spare their valuable time for us. So we are thankful to you, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Pranav, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, now you end this session. Sunil, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
Yes,
sir.
sir. Again, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. I'm leaving. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Thank you.